the world around you without any judgment. Take the judgment away and just look at the world around you from a childlike perspective. This is what I can't say this enough. I'm only telling you guys things that I learned on my own. It is that childlike perspective, that wonderment, that is the gateway to all things good and spiritual. It's as if when you open yourself up to the possibilities of life by way of that childlike wonderment and that childlike fascination and that childlike ideology that anything is possible and you really don't get hung up on stuff too long. Remember when you were a kid and you could go through things with other kids and you would just kind of like, after a while, get over it? We've got to keep that. I know for a fact, friend, when I tell you it's difficult. It's hard. I'm telling you, I know all about it. Not to make this about me, I have been in that and I'm still in that. I have to consciously make, not so much make, but remind myself to not take it personal. You've got to get to a place of selfishness. I know that sounds terrible, but listen to what I mean by that. Selfishness in the sense that whatever life throws at you, you define how you receive it. You define how that interaction, that situation is categorized in the library of your experiences. That's what I mean by selfishness. You've got to be selfish enough to say, okay, this, I don't care why, even though it was designed for it to have this effect upon me. And it probably initially did. That's the initial firewall we all have. We all have that default setting. But once it gets past that initial firewall, I have set up my avatar in the way that I program me to make everything that gets past that initial default setting to serve me. I've got to find, I don't care if it's 0.5%, I don't care if it's 1%, I don't care if it's 50%, I don't care if it's 100%. I've got to find whatever percentage I can get from that situation to empower me, to make me better, not to defeat me and to make me afraid so that I walk lightly within the earth, that I change my rhythm to it. And now it has altered me for the lesser. It's made me less than. No, we take the experiences and we let them build us up. And this is what I mean by, that childlike wonderment. It is the childlike wonderment that allows you to do this. God established it within us from the gate, from the moment we were born. It is our default setting. It is our original program. To don't sweat it. The system needs you to sweat it. It goes back to what I said, y'all, about aligning to the will of God, doing the right thing by your heart, listening to what your conscience tells you to do and allowing that to lead your life, and then not aligning to it and doing the things that the ego wants you to do and the things that make you restless and angry and fearful and jealous and envious. When you align to the things of God, they are the things that will continuously serve you. But they are things that are not easily achieved initially. Once you program yourself and you get a rhythm to doing it, it's easy. It's living by a code. It's not that you got to have a boring existence and you got to wear a skirt all the way down to your ankles and all that kind of stuff. That's not what I do. And I know I'm aligned to God and I know God loves me. And that doesn't mean that doesn't work for someone else. But I'm just creating a vision for you that there is no cookie cutter way to it. You've got to do the righteous things. You've got to be able to hear that inner voice, that delicate little voice that is all you. Not ego, not stuff that you've piled on top of it so you can go in the world and compete. But that voice that sings your authentic song, that voice that is all your own. And you've got to let that dictate your life. But a lot of times in life, you guys, we build up so many layers on top of that because it takes time for us to learn how to lead by presenting that after we have done so and become heard. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if it's the first person you fell in love with, or it could be, a family situation that you may have experienced and it broke your heart and you were very disappointed. It's always something that has hurt you from when you were leading with that delicate person, that most authentic version of yourself, that, truest aspect of you. And someone that you thought were presenting themselves as that didn't, and they betrayed that, or something came in between your trust of displaying that. It doesn't have to be a physical, romantic relationship. It could be anything. It could be family, parents, friends. It could be siblings. But what we do is we layer things on top of that aspect of ourselves so that we feel protected, so that we can determine who gets to see that part of us and who doesn't. Who's worthy of that aspect of me? Because everybody's not worthy. I spent tremendous seasons of my life doing that. And at times I do that now. I have to tell myself and remind myself that that's not what we're doing. Because I become so programmed by the world and the output that I see in the world and the interactions that I receive. The world is trying to program me to continuously lead with that. And it's constantly a battle between me and the world and not doing so. But in doing so, we find that that's where the power is, friend. I'm here to tell you, it's the most popping thing ever. It's the most stand up you will be in your creation. When you get to the place where you feel strong enough through experiences, through inner work, through knowing the environment that we're in, to be able to lead with that inner child and not be afraid that someone's going to come and do something to it. Because why? Through experiences, through your alignment with God and through your walk with God, that God has shown you time and time again that he will be with you throughout whatever you go through, and he will protect you. And that there truly is no weapon that could ever be formed against you that will prosper. It does not mean that the weapons won't form, friend. They're going to form, but they will not prosper. It's no way. And that was my word to you today. A lot of times we get so